Welcome to Covenant Channel. Please subscribe.
In our own father's generation, there are some things they will not allow. They take responsibility for their home. It's now the people, which is why inside the Bible, there is that wisdom that if a woman wants to marry, it's there. Hold the man's garment. Tell him you shall be responsible for nothing. He will marry you. That the reason why the men are not marrying is that they don't want to take responsibility. I mean, you don't know it's in the Bible. Just tell him you buy your own clothes, you do everything. He will marry you. That this wig, I will buy it. This makeup, I will do it. You will not pay one kobo for me to look the way I am. Said weddings will be popping. It's inside the Bible. I'm not saying, if you can even put up the scripture. I'm quoting scripture now to you now. Oh, you don't know it's in the Bible? 7 women will take the garment and where's that scripture now? I haven't put the scripture up now. All right? It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name. Don't worry about financing. We'll self-finance. And when we go out, we'll say, my darling bought this for me. She bought it. That's why you have to be ready for this life. I don't think people know how hostile the spirit realm is. So I don't think we are preparing Christians psychologically for how tough life really is. All right? I don't think we have been psychologically prepared. The marketplace is a place of contact sports. It's warfare. Now, the reason why it is warfare, look at where the Antichrist is going. Revelation chapter 13, verse 17. Where does he sit for that 666 sign? And no man might buy or what? Sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast. That's why what Bishop Killer was saying was that if you are in that place, they will cut off all your supply, except you know how to acquaint yourself with God and be at peace for good to come unto you. Because the other alternative is that you have the mark of the Father on your forehead and not the mark of the beast. I've said this before in church. Let me just say, because many people are not in church here. If you start a business, that's not market. That's not just. Then I understood. In fact, it was when Mr. Zachary was doing a closed session with us. I now said, okay, I see it now. When he came, I said, that's the marketplace. All right? When it's an apostle in a marketplace. Let me give you an example. If you're selling Zobo outside here and people just drive out and they buy Zobo and you make money, that's not marketplace. Now, when you start getting into marketplace, what will now begin to happen is somebody who just bought 1, 2 as they were leaving church because they were thirsty. Now say, bring 20. You say, why 20? It says, I took 1 to my office and 20, all my friends there want it. So I will order 20. Another said, I went to my family meeting, bring 30. So the supply begins to increase. Then you now decide, because it's still hidden, you now decide, to open up a shop. And in the shop, you just put Zobo, frozen and fresh. F and F. Now, you are arriving at the marketplace. Because people are driving past and seeing expensive cars parking. People that didn't think about Zobo as a business now get the idea. This guy is making some money here. Those who have disposable income, therefore say, they just walk up to you. We'd like to invest in your business. This thing, we can scale it. They are not your friends. You are now in the marketplace. They are not your friend. That's why I can say, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, in the marketplace, Pentecostals are the most naive. Marketplace, because when we teach a lot of love, you just believe, and before you know what's happening, you open your door. So when they come frozen and fresh, you will think kings have come to the brightness of your eyes. That kings will be your nursing fathers and nothing. You don't know what they've come to do. And I tell you, okay, we'll put in 100 million. All right? And this shareholding, you've lost your business. You say, I cannot. When you are doing so, but nobody will pay attention to you. You are not in the marketplace. When you get there, you are now in the marketplace. Then they will tell you, all right, we'll make it to 150. You say no. Okay. You will hear from us. War has started. That thing, if you don't take the mark of the beast, means if we don't own you, we are fighting you. I won't call the name of the person, but he said, because it's in the world, but what he said was correct. He's a record producer, one of the biggest producers. He said, I came to realize after losing my first 2 companies that anytime you are building anything significant, there are 2 or 3 people that are watching, and all they're doing is how they will take it from you. You can be a lion and kill the prey. If you look back, there are scavengers that will carry it. I hope you know that the dragon did not have the capacity to give birth to the child. The business of the dragon was to take the child as soon as it was born. And that is what warfare was. Go and read it. So if you don't know how to fight, if you give birth to anything of value, I'm telling you, they will take it from you. 90-something% of businesses that are thriving is not owned by... you get what I'm saying? Are you telling me that if the business is sustained by getting contracts from certain places and the people giving contracts say, listen to me, it's time for percentage here? You'll say, no, we'll shut it down. Which is why many times Christians are still playing under the radar. Because they don't have the sophistication to go up. That's why I say if you want to be a man, you must be ready to be a what? Man. Which is why many people today are doing, well, let me not talk. Well, let me not talk now. So once you show up on the radar, people will want to take, I've said the founder of Oracle, she said she did not believe that a person could start a business and it could be taken from you. She sells turkeys now, turkeys on a farm. As when you hear, it's better to own 2% of something that works than 100% of something that doesn't. In other words, they have taken 98. You have to be wise. Are you following what I'm saying? The gifts of the Spirit must be working in you. That's word of knowledge. That's when we say word of knowledge. When the king said anything we discuss, the prophet knows it. How does he know it? Somebody is leaking information. You have to operate at that level. You can't be someone that they come and say they'll hang things to you. Everybody's coming to give you anything. So when we assume you have done all of this, then you are qualified to rest. Do you get what I'm saying? You've taken the challenge, the responsibility. Then rest is very, very important as a spiritual strategy. And I'll close just with 3 things you can do in terms of this rest, because it is spiritual. Jesus in Mark chapter 6 verse 29. When his disciples said they came to go and laid it in a tomb. Verse 30. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus and told him all things, both that they had done and what they had taught. And Jesus answered, the next verse, come ye yourselves apart unto a desert place and rest for a while. And there's a reason why he told them that. Because to rest, he told them. Now, let's go on to the next verse. All right? Because they, listen to this, rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to what? Eat. So these people are working. It's not people that are not working. No. Next verse. It says, and they departed into a desert place by ship, what? Privately. So you need that time there just as a strategy to rest. You know, because I even believe that when they say midlife crisis, I believe many of these things happen because people have been battling and fighting and they're actually tired. You know, Jeff Bezos says, I don't make any decision after 10 a.m. He says, and I don't make more than 3 major decisions any day. He says, once it's 10 a.m., I make 3 major decisions, I don't make any decisions. He said, no matter the pressure that comes to meet me, I won't make a decision on it. He said, what he was trying to say is fatigue can set in when you exercise yourself, that by 10 a.m. it's not. They asked Bill Clinton, he says, all mistakes I made as president, I made after 3 o'clock. He said, all mistakes I made as president of the United States, after 3 p.m. I made. They said, what? He said, fatigue. So you must never put yourself in a place where, are you following what I'm saying here? You get tired. Because because you will self-destruct when you're tired. Look at Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. Daniel 7:25. It says, and this was the horn, this was warfare. They shall speak great words against the Most High and wear out the saints of the Most High. So they want to wear out. And there are many people here who, after time people start getting tired of things. They wear out the saints of the Most High. And then in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 10, it says, why is there so much rubbish? All right? Nehemiah 4, verse 10. It says, Judah, the strength of the bearers of the burden is decayed. And there is much rubbish so that we are unable to build the world. So, three things. Of course, we understand physical rest. We know that. And that is very, very important that you take physical rest. Dr. Paul Yonggi-Cho, they asked him, what was building the largest church in the world? He said, because I break my day into two. He said, it's not one day, 2 days for me. He said, at 3 p.m., I go to sleep. And I wake up for the second half of the day. He said, that's how I have sustained. All right? So, understand when it looks like fatigue, don't push yourself through that place, or else you might need to be carried by other people once you get to that point, because you can get tired. There was a day, I didn't know how terrible it was. Many years ago, I was just pushing, when I was doing the church, pushing. So one day I went to Houston, and I entered a room in a hotel, and I locked the door, and I slept. And after 3 days, it was like the cells of my body started settling. It's literally, I said, this thing has entered. It started settling, just settling. So it is, and sometimes it's getting away. One day I saw Pastor Paul Adifasi on a flight. So he said, when I come back, I said, I'm coming back on this. He said, people don't understand. So long as a pastor is in church on Sunday, even if he went Monday to Friday on holiday, he's not on holiday. That it is missing Sunday service that is holiday. So you must know what you should switch off. Do you get what I'm saying here? So, because it's spiritual, one of the ways you get restored, Isaiah 28, verse 11 to verse 12, it says, with stammering lips, for with stammering lips and another tongue will I speak to this people. The next verse, it says, to whom he said, this is the rest, wherewith you may cause the weary to rest. This is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. So with the stammering lips in the New Testament, he used that to show that that's what God was saying when he was talking about praying in the Spirit. Paul used that scripture. So when you spend time praying in the Spirit, which means this rest, listen, rest. It was during the 30th anniversary that, listen, Bishop, we go over the years, you say, I've never taken holiday, I don't do this. So when we were upstairs, when you finished preaching, we were upstairs. So we're talking, he just said, he said, go and rest. Then he just said, not rest from the spiritual activities, but the physical activity. In other words, in this rest, if you used to pray 3 hours a day, still pray 3 hours a day while you're on holiday. Do you get what I'm saying? It is the physical aspects you lay aside, not the spiritual activity. So you can get refreshed. Are you following what I'm saying here? From your spirit there. And then another thing I think somebody spoke about, I can't remember. Create white space. You see, in everything you do in life, it has been proven. Any amount of results you are getting, it's only 20% of the activity you are doing producing it. The other 80% of the activity doesn't contribute to that progress. Are you following what I'm saying here? So there are many things you are doing. You think everything is important. It's only 20% of it that is really important. You need to create white space and sit down and meditate in silence. Just sit down and meditate to find out what really is important in my life and what is not important. You understand this? And begin to build boundaries around your life. Some of you have relationships, I don't know who was saying it, I think it was Mr. Elder, that drain energy. Those relationships drain what? Energy. You don't need it. It was Mr. Elder that said some people he has blocked. They drain energy. There are some things you read you don't need. Are you following what I'm saying? Someone said it's rude to block on social media. I said, but the person who did social media also did block. The person that did comment also did what? Block. You don't need your eyes on some things. You don't need to hear some things. You don't need all that pull, every training that, somebody are calling, so you don't need it. All right? You don't need to go create that kind of stress. Think through on it. What are the activities that are actually causing this thing to work? Right? Driving it. You'll find out that you will enter into a place of rest, which means these are the 20%. This is commanding heights. These are the important things that should be done. One of the ways you get rest is pay for capable hands. Pay for capable hands. Don't save money on hiring because your peace will go. And your peace is more important than cash. Are you following what I'm saying here? Someone said, when have you hired wrong? A friend told me many years ago. Said, when you lose your peace by the person you hired. She said, I got a driver because there was traffic, too much traffic in Lagos. But I realized the stress of that driver was more than the stress of the traffic. You will see him this morning, you won't see him tomorrow morning. You will tell him the meetings are this. He'll come back. Said, shouting on him, she realized that she had paid for trouble, not for peace. Everything you spend is for peace. Do you get what I'm saying? And there is nothing more important in the growth of anything than hiring capable and reliable people. We did hiring recently. And somebody was on AI, so I was talking. I said, people, if you read CV out, that's not the point. The point, I learned this one, I can't remember who it was, I think it's Elon Musk. He said, people that know how to do things, because everybody will say, I was part of a team. I was like, no, ask them the details. Once you start asking them the details, you will know who actually did it and who is taking the glory for it. So I said, I don't need time, let me just ask details. As she started, in 1 minute, I said, hold it. You're taking, you can go. She started laughing. Let me tell you what happened. When it was time to employ, she came to the office. The head of admin came and said, Pastor, said what? Said, conclusion. Said, she's 9 months pregnant, so she's going on maternity leave as we hire. She said, but Pastor, she knows what she's saying. This lady knows what she's saying. She has described things she will do with AI in the ministry. We looked at ourselves. Maternity or no maternity, higher. Are you following what I'm saying here? People are looking for skilled people that will give them peace and help them multiply things. Not the one that comes and you have to. Are you following what I'm saying here? So one of the ways you enter into peace is you use money to buy peace. Are you following what I'm saying here? And this purchase of peace is people that know how to do things. Not they say they know how to do it. They know how to do what? Things. That have the skill to do it. Don't save money on talent, because the real talent will multiply what you are doing. Are you following what I'm saying? The real talent will multiply it. All right. Somebody called me, great man of God in this country, come and help us organize this. Another pastor told him, he said, do you think it's pastor that organizes all those things? He said he has people in his, that if you ask him to organize it, it's not him that is doing it. He has people that are doing it. And nobody feels anything. We just finished Afro Gospel something. We are doing this. Women are doing their own here. We have Lekki Convention. We have, I have written everybody coming to speak at Wolfbeck. I have invited everybody coming to speak at London Summer World Camp, July 17th to 19th. I have given them the date, the time of their flight, when they will. Are you following what I'm saying here? You can only think that far if you have people that are helping you. Hiring the right people is peace. Are you following what I'm saying here? Then the little that is left now, you can go on holidays here and there. And let me just tell you this. It's better to do 3 days holiday every quarter than 1 long holiday every year. Are you following what I'm saying here? And the holiday doesn't have to, because you're thinking, you're saying I should travel up. No, you don't have to travel very far. When I go and preach in New York, they take me to Cultivating. When I'm there, there's rest there. It doesn't have to be expensive. Do you get what I'm saying here? In fact, packing luggage, going through clinic can take. So you can invest in the economy of a country and develop and know that there is peace in some places in this country. Are you following what I'm saying here? But you need that peace. The word peace in Hebrew is the word shalom. It's the same word prosperity. They said the vehicle that brings prosperity to a man's labor is called peace. Where there's no peace, you cannot have prosperity. That's why how good and pleasant it is. Go and read it in the Hebrew. How economically prosperous it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And anybody that causes stress inside an office, you hire people and they are causing stress. Your office is not a counseling center. Do you get what I'm saying here? It's not a rehabilitation center for emotions. You can do that outside the office. Everybody there should be what? Peace. You know, you can walk somewhere and you pray in tongues in the morning. By the time you get to the office, somebody there drains all the energy of the people by morning. If you are a leader, like we heard about dysfunction, if you're a leader, it is your business to protect the other people by removing that person out of the system. Or else, everybody around will soon see that their health is at risk because they have a weak leader.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe so you can get the latest videos. See you next time.